diplomacy features with other players, and a robust social feature set, just like any good MMO. Down here, you see a news network streaming information. Basically, you've got all the events of the game world being shown to you live. Everyone sees this the same, so if you find your name down here, you know your name is in lights and everyone's appreciating your accomplishments. Let's take a look at our headquarters view. This is actually our long-term development headquarters. You actually have to go out, pick your favorite spot in the game world to set up your headquarters, develop it. It actually takes real game time to build, so it might take a few days of real time to create a super weapon. We're going to manufacture those. We do our research and development here. We also place down some monuments to our accomplishments that our friends can check out when they stop by. Taking a step into our armory, you see a few of our hundreds of tanks that we can literally hundreds of tanks that we can collect. As a tank commander, I do have some of the best tanks in the game. I do have access to all kinds of diverse artillery, strike units, utility vehicles, but my tanks are the best in the game. After we've set up our unique look, different paint jobs and stencils, this is an MMO, we want to have a unique presence in the game world. We're going to set up our specific loadout. This is our pre-battle planning phase. We need the perfect loadout for most effectiveness at our siege on the Acropolis wall that we're going to show you. Going back to the war room, let's take a look at the war room. When we go live, this will be teeming with life. It's going to literally show you at an arm's length the satellite view representation of thousands of players' activities. You see where nukes are going off, hotspots of activity, see where people need a commander like you to help out. One of my favorite parts about this is that you can actually look at any game, anywhere in the game world, any player, live. I believe that's unprecedented in gaming. Notice battlefronts changing, political alliances, political borders being drawn. We're actually going to take a jump right into a high-end raid example, which is the Acropolis Wall. We're going to lay siege to this. This is right at the Nation's doorstep in the former United States. They built a giant modern-day Great Wall of China around the inner territory. Eventually, our faction has dropped a bomb here, cleared out an area in the woods, set up a forward base, set up a defensive perimeter. You'll notice John setting up control groups. Micromanagement is very important in this RTS game. You'll see lots of human player and AI allies can come in and help us out. Those AI units, we need to defend those against the stream of enemy vehicles that are going to try to destroy those. Those are basically vehicle spawners that we have to protect. Lots of detail on the battlefield, right down to a little general protecting his hologram up on the battlefield. We can take missions from him. We can collect loot, level up, lots of cool MMO persistent features. Nations actually set fire to the forest around our forward base. They're trying to drive us out. We're going to just blow through that. We've set up a trench here. This kind of trench warfare for tanks. You'll see us using a variety of our special abilities as we get through here. This part of the UI is going to be very familiar to MMO players. We set up custom hotbars. Basically, these are shortcuts to our super weapons back at our headquarters. Some of the consumable items such as special ammo, repair kits, armor, that sort of thing, and our favorite tank commander abilities that we've gained over our months of gameplay. Over here on the right, you see controls that are very familiar to an RTS player. Selection bar and a radar minimap. We're going to try to stream through this no man's land here that's getting shelled heavily by artillery off in the distance. If we destroy that artillery, the AI units can actually, our AI allies can actually reinforce us, and then they can make their way through also. But before we get there, we have to deal with some field fortifications. Massive Gatling cannons are firing on us. We've got to deal with EMP devices going off. Vehicle factories churning out lots of enemies. There are many, many tactical decisions for you to make as a player. I can capture that, I can destroy it. I think we're going to try to capture it and turn it on the enemy, at least one of those. But it really is a reactive situation. We've got to play it by ear, see how the battle's unfolding, and be on our toes. Perfect opportunity to set up a defensive line. We've called in a super weapon. This is a napalm strike. This wall of fire is going to create a funnel that the enemies have to drive through to avoid it. And it's going to be a perfect opportunity for an off-map super weapon strike with our artillery. It's a very devastating effect, but it does take a while to get going, and we have to make sure we keep them in the pocket. Being an MMORTS, everything is persistent, so that actually consumed fuel back at our headquarters. We used napalm up. We're going to have to replenish that. We're going to have to make sure those super weapons are all topped off for our next battle. We have a finite supply of those. We're going to have to make very intelligent use of those for the strategy game. See here, another Fort LZ deeper into the enemy territory. If we capture this, our allied human players can drop in. Being an MMO, there's no waiting for lobbies, none of that. Everything is happening live. My allies can just drop in if they want to show up late to battle. They can join me late. We get our first peek here at the Acropolis Wall. It's a massive wall. It spans literally thousands of miles in the game world. There's no way around it. We're going to have to go through it. Taking out some of these dome cannons set up here is going to relieve pressure back in the no man's land we saw previously and allow a lot of the AIs to stream forward as well as human players. And finally, we see our destination, the massive wall gun. This gun is so big, it actually fires into other zones in the MMO world. Destroying it will relieve pressure on our coalition trying to make inroads into the Order Nation's territory on another map. Hopefully we can also crack the wall open and get access behind the Order Nation's territory. This is a tactical puzzle. It goes to different phases, some timing elements here. We're going to have to use everything we've got. In the real game, this would take over 5 minutes. It'd be really challenging. You'd need all of your allies to help you out, everyone playing the role effectively. Having cracked the wall, grab some loot real quick, and we can actually make our way inside, and there's going to be all kinds of high advanced technology to steal from the Order of Nations, the big villain of our game. After we steal that tech, we'll take it home, research it, dismantle it, incorporate it into our own supply lines. Next time we come to battle, you'll actually see our own vehicles made with Order Nations technology and use it against them. We're going to draw the demo to a close for now, but I'd like to remind you that this is an MMO RTS, where literally thousands of gamers are playing in the same persistent RTS world, and there can be over 50 player armies in one open battlefield. Please check out endofnations.com. Again, we are Petrolith, partnered with Crown Worlds, and we'll be having a Rift Plains of Talara demo, another great MMO, right next door. Thanks for stopping by.